Well, I'm sure you all know this already, but last week, of course, Tennessee's Lady Vols head coach Kelly Harper got fired, and the big question was who's going to take the mantle as the Lady Vol head coach. Now, excluding the people who are down bad and just want somebody hot to take over, there were a lot of big options to take. A lot of people were trying to get Don Staley to come coach, and some of it was, some of it was dreams, some was expectations. But it seems after a week of thinking about it, we've finally gotten our end result. Kimberly Codwell, the head coach of Marshall, is coming to Tennessee to coach the Lady Vols. So is this another home run hire by our boy Danny? I don't know. Let's talk about it, shall we? Cue that intro. Oi, fellow comrades, it is Squidtard here, and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about the Lady Vols. Of course, I mainly do college football stuff on here, but considering the fact that we've made another hire, or something big happened for the Tennessee Vols program, any program in particular, I've decided to drop this news and give my thoughts on it. And I've got some interesting thoughts on this. So, of course, last week on the Vol Star podcast and weeks before that, I kind of talked about this whole, fire Kelly Harper situation. And, you had a bunch of Tennessee fans going around Twitter or whatever, wherever they could type, going, fire her ass, fire her ass. They tend to scream this every time anybody loses. But particularly with Kelly Harper, everybody was doing it. Now, I told everybody that, she wasn't getting fired just because she didn't live up to your extremely high expectations. And some of it was because people wanted her to beat people wanted her to be Pat Summitt. And the reality of the situation is that just can't possibly happen. My thoughts on that were given here on the Vol Star podcast a couple of weeks ago. Like, whenever I ask anybody the reason why they want Kelly Harper fired, or see somebody ask, the answer I always get is she ain't Pat Summitt. Well, breaking news, you dummy! There's no Pat Summitt. There is not another Pat Summitt. If you want another Pat Summitt. So yeah, as you can tell from that clip, this whole ordeal revolving around Kelly Harper was kind of the big talk revolving around Tennessee basketball these past few weeks. But of course, last week, not even a week ago, it was actually Monday afternoon when this information dropped. Kelly Harper, former head coach of the Lady Vols, of course, got let go of her position as the head coach. And so the big question, of course, was, who are we going to find? Which coach are we going to get? And you had people running around with the whole, the idea that we can get anybody we want to, no matter, how good they are or where they want to stay. And, of course, Don Staley was one of those coaches. Now, in fact, while I'm making this video, I think they're playing, or they might have already won the national championship in basketball, so that wasn't really an option. It seemed, though, that from at least Danny White's point of view, that he had already made this decision even before letting go Kelly Harper, and this was just kind of confirmation once everything was finalized. But yeah, anyway, Kim Codwell, the head coach of Marshall, who's actually a really good program, or more specifically, has been a really good team under Kim Codwell. Of course, now she has come to Tennessee. And could this be another home run hire by Danny White? It's very possible, and I like to make this comparison to the last hire that he made, which was actually, of course, Josh Heupel being hired for Tennessee. Young and upcoming head coach with a lot of really good stats, specifically on offense. So that's some big steps moving forward. I've got some stats for you right here. Number 4 scoring offense last year. Number 1 3-point attempts per game. Number 3 steals per game. I like the thoughts of that. I like the idea that we are getting some elite offense going, because kind of that big issue with the Lady Vols was that they really couldn't get any big offense running. So I'm really happy to see that we're getting some of that good stuff going. Here's another factoid for you. In her first year as D1 head coach, she led Marshall to become both regular season and conference tournament champions with a 26-7 record. Of course, recently named the D1 Rookie Coach of the Year. This is some phenomenal information right here. I personally, I'm very happy to hear this information. So, of course, there are going to be people still mad about this because it's not the best head coach of all time. It's not the reincarnation of Pat Summitt, but forget those people. This is a great hire by Danny White, I think. And here's another graphic for you. This was actually posted by the Lady Vols basketball Twitter page. So these are some of these stats that she has. So 217 wins, 88% win percentage in 8 seasons as head coach, 7 conference championships, 26 program record for single season wins. So take from that what you will. That's the number of course, single season wins, 26. That's good stuff right there. The fourth ranked scoring team in the nation. So yeah, some really good stats right here. And here's another one right here, the Pat Summitt Trophy, the WBCA NCAA Division II National Coach of the Year. So yeah, some really, really great stats. I'm really looking forward to seeing, how this is going to pan out for the future. And I wanted to end this off by showing a quote from what I believe is the athletic director, of course, Mr. Danny White himself. Now, from this point, at this point in time, my favorite quote from Danny White in any, topic has always been "Stop the nonsense," as shown by the graphic you see on the screen right now. But, this is just some of the things that he had to say about Kim Codwell. So, from the beginning, our goal has been to find a dynamic head coach who can restore our women's basketball program to national prominence. Kim Codwell is the ideal person to lead us. Kim is a winning formula that she has successfully implemented everywhere she has coached with a fast-paced, high-octane offense. Now, does this sound familiar to anybody? Use your brain on this one, Tennessee fans. Does that sound familiar to anybody in particular? Particularly the football team. Anyway, pressure defense that has led to remarkable results. In this new era of college sports, it was vital that we found an innovative head coach with a strong track record of winning titles. We are eager to return the Lady Vols to a championship level, and we're confident that Kim Codwell is the coach that can lead us back to the top. So some very, very high expectations already put on Kim Codwell. Even the athletic director is already saying that this is the coach that can lead us to championship level. And if he's saying it, then you already know that the fan expectation, at least from a general viewpoint, is going to be to win championships, whether that's the SEC or winning the entire thing. It's expected that the Lady Vols is going to be on the level that the Tennessee men's basketball program is right now, which is, dominance in the SEC, competing for the championship every single year, and hopefully not choking in the tournament. Now, to be fair, this year, of course, the Tennessee team made it all the way to the Elite Eight, and if it weren't for a specific set of problems...
Foul! No, 2 fouls.
We very well could have gone all the way. But that's all speculation at this point in time. Basically, all you need to grasp from this quote right here is that the expectation for Kim Codwell is that she's going to bring this program back to where it was in terms of former success and hopefully bring us some Tennessee championships. Because you already know there ain't enough of that going on right now, and we could very well use some championships. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this. What do you guys think? Is this a great hire? Is this the phenomenal hire that Tennessee has been looking for? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will respond accordingly. Gonna get back to posting some 2024 schedule previews, and coming up soon, I'll give my thoughts on the spring game coming up, because that's not too far from now, a Tennessee Vols spring game. Very excited to see Mr. Nico go out there and torch some defenses, and maybe even see some defense do the opposite. I don't know. We'll find out. That's all speculation at this point in time. But we'll see you guys next time. As always, of course, power to Tardaria, and go Vols, baby.